Hey YouTube, this is Brandon with Third Rate Duels. Going to come at you guys with another deck profile. So it's kind of an interesting deck. Mr. Lane actually gave me the idea for it. We built it last week and it actually did pretty well. I played at locals and got first, went undefeated with it. And might play at regional in St. Louis next weekend.
What'd you play?
So it's Blue Eyes Invoked.
What matches do you have today?
So, oh man, round one I played against Ojama ABC.
2-0?
2-0'd him. Round two, I played against a random deck.
The Ojama ABC is a good player too.
Yeah, the Ojama AC player is a really good player. And then round three, I played against Dark Magician. And then round four, I played against Crusadia.
That's Crusadia build with the waterfronts and stuff. So.
Waterfronts and with the Kaijus. So Kaiju Crusadia. And that guy took me to game three. But I went undefeated all day today with the deck. It actually performed really well. I'm really happy with it.
Okay.
So let's go and get right into it. So we'll start off with the Blue Eyes stuff. So triple alternative and triple Blue Eyes White Dragon. You got to play three of each of these. You need to see alternative going first. So the reason why I like this Invoked variant is because, like, the issue with Mech Knight Invoked is that the deck has a really hard time going first. This deck can go first or second. I can go first, and off a 2-card combo, I can make Calamities and Mechaba. And then off a 3-card combo, I can do it without having to detach off of the Calamities. So, and then if I go second, I can just break the board with the Blue Eye stuff and then play Invoke stuff.
You want to show us the combos afterwards?
Yep, show you the combo at the end of the video. And then playing Triple Sage, this is still good because it's still Blue Eyes. So at worst hands, I'm putting up just the Calamities. Because you can put up a Calamities with just the Invoke stuff, you can put up Calamities with the Blue Eye stuff. So my worst hands, I'm putting up Calamities. And so I think this is still kind of necessary. And plus being able to search Veiler is good. And then I'm only playing two new stone, and I'm playing one old stone. So this card is actually better in this build because you're going to recur a Blue Eyes off of sending this, and you kind of need cards to discard for the new Alistair. So most of the time this gets banished from the graveyard because of Invocation, so you don't really get the graveyard effect a whole lot. And they're so I wouldn't play any more than this of these. And one Glow Up Bulb, so we're still doing a little Glow Up Bulb package, courtesy of Alan from Team Sam. But it's still good because you still just make Calamities off of the Glow Up Bulb, and so it's still good. And then triple Alistair, obviously, Heart and Soul, the Invoked Engine. You need to play 3 of this. And then to round off the monsters, we're playing 2 Ash and 1 Veiler. Veiler is searchable, so you need to play more than one of that, and then double Ash.
I think that's enough hand traps?
Yes, I think
that's for the current meta right now?
Yes, I do. So I wouldn't, maybe bump Ash up to 3, but I just don't know what I would take out of the main deck. So I'm pretty happy with 2 of it. And then that's it for monsters. For spells, triple Melody, cards 2 busted, and then triple Return of the Dragon Lords. You still recur your Blue Eye stuff, and then it helps you make link plays into Alistair, so I still think this is really necessary. And then triple Trade-In, so again you just reveal alternate, special summon it, and then normal summon Alistair, and Surge Invocation.
Nice pretty Germans.
Yes, they are very nice pretty Germans, and the returns are nice pretty Germans too. But then you just draw 2 cards and get further into the deck. So this is still good. And then triple Terraforming, because you want to see this card and you want to see this card. So I know a lot of Invoked decks only play 2 Invocation, but the reason I play 3 of it is because if you hard draw either a light monster or an Invocation, you don't have to detach off the Mechaba to do the Alistair with True King of all Calamities and a Mechaba. You go through all 3 of your Mechabas if you do it that way, but 3 Invocation is necessary, and you just burn through them in this deck. So 3 is a must-have. 2 is not enough. And then 2 round off spells, 1 Monster Reborn, and then Foolish Burial still. Again, this isn't just for Globe Bulb. You send the Old Stone off of this, and then you search a Blue Eyes. And so you essentially just put a light target in grave for Invocation, then you search the Blue Eyes to discard off of the new Alistair. So it's still really, really good. And then 1 for 1 for, again, you don't just play Globe Bulb off of this. You can do the Old Stone, and it is just as good. Like, the Old Stone in this build is really, really good. And that's it for the main deck. For extra, we're still playing 2 Spirit because it is a Blue Eyes deck, and then kind of slower hands. You gotta go into this. As I said earlier, most of the time, you know, a decent, like a bad hand, I'll usually end with just Calamities, but there are slower hands where you have to play just Blue Eye stuff, and this gets you there and comes in handy. 1 Azure Eyes, didn't play it all day, but is there just in case. 1 Spark for the Sky Castle play with Globe Bulb. Still used the Sky still today, it was pretty handy. And then only 2 Invoker of Madness. You don't need more than 2 of this. Most of the time I just made 1 and controlled the board, and my opponent just scooped and went to game 2. There's a lot of times when I ended with this and a Calamities and a Mechaba, I had a spell in hand to like negate something like a Widow Anchor or anything like that. So I don't think you need more than 2 of this. And then for fusions, you have to play 3 Mechaba in this build. As I said earlier, people were only playing 2 Invocation and 2 Mechaba. You have to play 3 of it because you're going to burn through all 3 of these to make that play and control the game state. And then Super Spicy Tech is 1 Elysium. So these are the only 4 fusions I play in the deck, and this card is super good because the idea behind it is, and I did this several times today, is you make the Mechaba with the Calamities, and then after you burn through your Calamities, you make this guy and just wipe your opponent's board and swing for a bunch of damage. It's really good. I made this card several times today, and I'm really glad I put it in. And then, obviously, the Shrieking Wall Calamities. 1 Hope Harbinger. It's Blue Eyes, you make Rick Aints. This card is still decent. 1 of this for Monster Negate, and 1 of this just in case you get into like a matchup where your opponent has a huge monster you can't beat over, and this can kind of get you there. And that's it for the extra deck. For side, I sided 2nd Veiler. In case I win against something where I need the Veil or something, put it in a couple times. 1 Sphere Mode, 1 Lava Golem to out the extra link. Didn't side these in all day today because they're playing against any Goki or anything like that. But this deck, like, hands down, just loses to the extra link. So eventually what I might end up doing is end up side decking 1 Mega Fleet, and then triple Toon Cyber Dragon and triple Toon Table Contents, because you just search the Toon Cyber Dragon and make Mega Fleet, and then you can just make a board from there because you can special alternative to make Alistair. And then after you make the Alistair, you can special summon the Elysium and just banish the extra link board. It doesn't target, doesn't destroy. So once you out the 1 extra monster in the extra monster zone, you just make that play and go ham.
You think having to put all that stuff in will take away from it?
No, because Toon Cyber Dragon's a light, it's a light, so you're putting a light target in grave for Invocation, and then it's just a 1 card to make Mega Fleet, and then from there, as I said, you just make Alistair, the Link Alistair, and you further your plays that way. It doesn't hinder you at all, and it's 6 cards to out the extra link, and that's outing an extra link is really hard. That's the extra link you have an out, you might as well scoop it up and go to game 2. And then Altergeist is also a hard matchup for this deck, so 2 Twin Twister. I don't main deck any traps, so Mechaba can't negate any traps, so we gotta be able to clear that back row. And then 2 Call by the Grave for if I know I'm going first, I'll take out the Ashes for these. 1 Dark Hole because of board wipe. Again, the idea behind it is if you go against the extra link, you either raw sphere mode them or you lava golem them, and then you Dark Hole afterwards out the board. So 2 anti-spell. This one's kind of iffy. Kills Brandish, but also slows this deck down quite a bit. So the idea is you make the board with Calamities and Mechaba, then you flip this face up and take control of the game 2 from them. And then triple Mind Crush. I still think this card's super relevant. This card's never bad going first or second.
Everybody searches.
Oh yeah. And then to round off, traps. There's a red reboot. As I said earlier, Ultrageist can be a hard matchup for this deck because I don't main deck any traps to negate on them. So if you red reboot them, you're going to push for as much damage as you can. You can't really board wipe with this, so the idea is to try and OTK the opponent.
Okay.
And that's it for the deck profile.
Anything you change from it?
Honestly, no. I mean, I liked the ratios I played today. My worst hand, I made a Calamities and passed. I've done a bunch of hand tests with it. Almost always making a Macabre with a Calamities and an Alistair. So,
okay.
I'll go ahead and show you guys the combo. So, 3 cards don't matter. So these 3 cards can be blank.
Okay.
And then one of them can be any combination of these 3.
So you just need one of these.
One
3
of
cards.
these 3. And then you need this. Or a way to get alternative and blue eyes to your hand.
Okay.
So any combination, so like alternative and like maybe Foolish Burial, but this right here is the 2-card combo with this.
Okay.
So first thing you're going to do is, let's just say it's like this. So you're going to normal summon the Alistair and activate his effect to search Invocation. Alright? And then you are going to discard off of the Melody and search a Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. So this is your hand right now. You're going to reveal Blue Eyes to special summon the alternative. You're going to link these 2 away to play new Alistair. And then now you're going to activate Invocation to banish these 2 to special summon Macabre. And the reason this works is because his effect to discard, so it doesn't matter what you discard, it can be any of these 3. So discard to search an Invocation. So you search an Invocation. Now you activate Invocation's other effect, put it back to the deck, add Alistair to your hand. Play Invocation, you banish the Blue Eyes, and send the Alistair to grave to special summon another Macabre. And then now you activate Alistair's effect again to discard a blank card to search Invocation. So if one of these 3 blank cards end up being a light monster, you don't need to detach off the Macabre, which, again, everything other than the Alistair is a light monster, so the odds of you drawing another light monster is pretty high. But for just this 2-card combo, you're going to have to detach off of the Macabre. Then you overlay into Calamities, you activate Calamities effect, and you activate Invocation, and you're going to banish these 2 to special summon another Macabre. And then now you still have a card in hand to negate something with Macabre. So most of the time it'll be a spell, because you're going to stop your opponent's monster effects with Calamities. So the reason why I'll try and keep a spell in my hand is because like if they try and Widow Anchor you on the standby phase, because it's a quick play, you can just negate it with Macabre and your plays go through. And so after this, if your opponent cannot break your board, what you'll do is you'll add back an Invocation, and then you'll make Elysium with a Macabre engrave, and then you can either get rid of the Calamities once you've exhausted it, or get rid of the Alistair, and then you make this and board wipe them if they've tried to play some monsters.
That's crazy.
It's a pretty good first turn play, and it's very, very consistent. As I said, that's just those 2 cards. So Alistair, Terraforming, or Meltdown, and this makes this board, and you detach off of the Calamities to be able to do it. But if any of the other 3 blank cards end up being a light type monster, which everything other than Alistair is a light type, you don't need to detach off of the Calamities.
That's crazy.
It's very, very good. This is something Mr. Gary Lane and I came up with. As I said, him and I built the deck last weekend. He gave me the idea for it. We did a bunch of hand tests, worked out the kinks, and I'm very happy with it right now.
And you said you're going to take it up to St. Louis next weekend, probably?
Take it up to St. Louis next weekend. So, YouTube, if you see me up there, you know what I'm playing.
Ooh, good luck, St. Louis. That's a pretty nasty board there.
Well, so like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see. Again, I appreciate you guys watching the video and helping our channel grow. And we'll see you later, YouTube.